A few days at the gym, no social media and good food that lead you to happiness and a feeling of accomplishment. You feel like you have got your life together. Even though you feel so much better with your new routine, it is followed by weeks of procrastination and old habits being adopted. That feeling of accomplishment transitions into a feeling of frustration, which gives you enough motivation to get started with the good habits again, just to start the loop from the beginning. You start questioning your discipline and maybe even yourself. Don't lose hope, you can make the change. Actually, you can make the change overnight. It has never been more important that people around me and also myself can rely on me. You see, 6 months ago, my girlfriend looked at me with tears in the eyes and told me, "Pharrell, I think I'm pregnant." Well, she was right. At this time I was gambling and doing drugs. Do you believe I felt ready to become a dad at 19? So I've been trying to quit my bad habits over the past months and adapt good ones, and I failed. So I tried again and I failed. I did not understand. I always thought motivation is the problem, but how come becoming a dad was not solving the problem? And what even is the problem? Luckily, it was not my first time going through this. Well, becoming a dad is my first time, but trying to quit bad habits. Actually, just once in my life, I have managed to quit my bad habits overnight and stick to a new routine for over an entire year. As someone who was or actually is struggling with bad habits, I can promise you that with my approach that I'm about to share, you can achieve a transformation you have never experienced before overnight. Everything I have in life, materialistic possessions, good relationships with people, generally good people around me, and everything positive about my life right now was gained in this 1 year of pure dedication and grinding. And I like to call this an overnight success because, as I said, the change was made overnight and you can do the same. So let's talk about the 3 problems you might face that I'm facing, how to solve them, and how this will allow you to start a new life by tomorrow. The first thing you need to have is proof of concept and reasoning. Note this: once your habits have a tremendous positive impact on your life, you will start repeating them naturally. Most of the time, our only reason to start is feeling shit. You need to shift the focus. Instead of running away from something, start running towards something. Shift the focus of your reasoning from the negative to the positive. Let me put this into perspective with a simple example. Stop running away from being overweight and start running towards being healthy. We use feeling shit as a motivation to quit, and as soon as we don't feel shit anymore, we lack motivation. So instead, the focus should be put on feeling good as a goal. This is like upgrading from a puddle of water to an infinite spring of water. Same example with smoking. Stop quitting smoking and start prioritizing your health. It is what keeps you going when first successes are made. To implement this, start looking at the dialogues with yourself. Realize how often it is more about what you are trying to not have in life instead of focusing on what you want in life. This is going to give consistency to your habits. Sooner or later you will experience an upward spiral, because the longer you practice good habits or practice quitting bad ones, the more positive effects are going to arise. You could also call it momentum. I like to call it momentum. This momentum should be your goal. Once you have momentum, you will use it as your reasoning because it has such a tremendous positive effect on your life that you don't want it to stop and you just keep going and going and going. A simple example is I've been always struggling to consistently make progress in the gym, to get to a point where I make progress. So I've committed myself to go to the gym for X amount of time, and after I saw my first progresses, I was smashing it. There was like a reason to go to the gym consistently, and it It wasn't hard anymore because the reasoning, the momentum I gained from it, seeing my body transforming, gave me enough motivation to keep going and keep going. Sadly, as simple as this sounds, most of us struggle to get to this point. I was struggling to get to this point over the past months. So this leads us to problem number 2 we are facing: commitment. In the past month, I was quite aware of the fact that I just need to gain momentum, and once I have it, that it would be very easy to change my life to the positive. But I didn't get my engine running. I failed to gain momentum. So the best thing you can do to avoid this is committing yourself, creating a challenge for yourself. This only works if you are 100% convinced that you want to start a new life. Every cell of your body needs to feel the urge to start a new life. Try to picture the life you want to build and think of habits, good habits, that will lead you there. What is the new version of you doing? What would you practice day by day? And now just take these habits and pack them into a routine. All you need to do is commit yourself for X amount of days to practice this routine. See it as a challenge your life depends on, your entire future depends on. See this as your last opportunity to reach your goals. Make this routine the most important thing in your life for X amount of days. The worse your situation is, the worse you feel, the longer you should commit yourself. I would suggest anything between 50 to 100 days. The reason you should do this is that this routine should be able to create momentum in your life. And as I said, once you gain momentum, it gives you enough reasoning to just keep going. Back then, when I changed my life overnight, what got my engine running were 50 days of dedication. Every day I was not doing drugs, waking up before 8 a.m., a 1-hour morning routine without distractions, exercising daily, reading 10 pages daily, dedicating 1 hour towards a new skill, following a healthy diet, tracking the progress in a journal and on social media. Shout out to Project 50. And the only thing that failed me from there was my environment. After finishing the challenge, you should have created the new life you were looking for. Now maintaining this new lifestyle is the hardest bit. I went through this entire process myself. As I said, I did this 50-day challenge, which created a new life for me. What should have been a 50-day challenge became a year-long transformation. It was exactly 50 days before New Year's, and at the beginning of the challenge, I already imagined myself lighting a joint at 12 on New Year's. But after day 30, I was feeling the positive effects of the routine. It was so overwhelming for me, I didn't want this feeling to stop. What I gained was momentum. This feeling of holding myself accountable, of working towards my goals. I actually saw progress, so I wanted to see how far this routine can take me. After day 50, I decided to postpone it to 100 days. 100 days in, I said, fuck all, I'm gonna do this for an entire year. After 1 year, 1 month and 1 day, the universe tested me. I met amazing friends whilst traveling on Bali and Thailand. They didn't really care about goals, they were there to enjoy life. So they went into a nightclub and I joined them. I drank a beer and I smoked a cigarette. I felt like I broke trust with myself and I didn't see a reason to maintain my routine. So as soon as I landed in Thailand, I smoked my first joint after a year-long break. The journey towards or backwards to my old life continued, and I slipped back into the old me, chasing cheap dopamine like a loser. What I'm trying to say is, you need to actively design your environment. Bad things are easier to find on this earth than good things. And if you don't actively look out for the good ones, the bad will find you and defeat you. I want to make the good easier to find because I was struggling with it and I might struggle with this in the future. I decided to build a place, a community for people with similar struggles I have. To give them a place where they feel understood and can be helped. This is what the channel is for, and it's just the beginning of a year-long journey. A journey with a destination that is very hard to reach. But I know I can get to the destination. I can achieve those huge goals by changing my life overnight. To prove this, I will document my process. I will be landing on Bali on the 27th of October, and I will have a routine ready to get me going day by day. And I will stick to this routine until my kid is born. Thanks for watching. Let's grow together. Your Pharrell.